Arriving in Harlem as the rain begins. You arrive in Harlem just as the rain begins to fall. The elevated train rumbles away above you, its metal wheels fading into the distance, leaving behind a gentle hush. Water drips steadily from the tracks overhead, tapping the sidewalk in slow, patient rhythms. You pause for a moment at the foot of the stairs, letting the city settle around you. The rain is soft and steady, not hurried. It darkens the pavement until the street glows like polished stone. Streetlights line 125th Street, their warm halos stretching across the wet ground, trembling slightly in every shallow puddle. Reflections ripple with each passing drop, bending light into long, wavering lines. You begin to walk. Your footsteps are quiet, softened by the dampness, blending easily with the sounds of the evening. Somewhere nearby, a car passes slowly, tires whispering against the road. Farther down the block, a streetcar bell rings once, then again, muffled by the rain and distance. The buildings rise calmly around you. Brick facades, tall windows, familiar shapes that feel sturdy and watchful. Brownstone stand shoulder to shoulder, their stoops slick and darkened, rainwater tracing gentle paths along stone steps worn smooth by years of use. Curtain glow faintly behind some windows, suggesting quiet lives unfolding indoors. The air smells clean and cool, washed fresh by the rain. There's a hint of wet concrete, damp wool coats, and faint traces of tobacco lingering from earlier hours. You breathe slowly, deeply, letting the scent settle. Above you, the streetlights hum softly, barely noticeable, steady and reassuring. Their light reflects off umbrella tops and hat brims, turning droplets into tiny sparks that vanish as quickly as they appear. Rain beads along the edges of signs and awnings, gathering until gravity gently pulls them down. As you move farther along the street, the city feels both alive and unhurried. Voices drift past, low conversations, a laugh quickly swallowed by the rain. But nothing demands your attention. Everything seems softened, wrapped in the same quiet rhythm. You notice how the rain changes the sound of the city. Sharp edges disappear. Footsteps blur. Even distant music becomes a gentle suggestion rather than a clear melody. The world feels slower here, as if time itself has decided to rest for a while. You adjust your coat and continue walking, unbothered by the rain. Each step carries you deeper into the evening, deeper into Harlem's calm, rain-soaked glow. The lights guide you forward, one pool of warmth leading to the next. And as the rain continues its steady fall, you feel yourself settle into its rhythm, unrushed, unburdened, ready to wander wherever the night gently leads you. You continue walking, letting the rain guide your pace as Harlem opens up around you. The street feels narrower here, more intimate. Shop windows glow softly through the drizzle, their glass fogged slightly from the warmth inside. A barbershop hums quietly as its lights dim for the night. Striped poles standing still, rain sliding down its painted surface. Nearby, a small record shop is already closed, its window display frozen in place. Album covers and handwritten signs resting under a thin layer of reflected light. You pass beneath awnings stretched low over the sidewalk. Water gathers along their edges, dripping in slow, steady patterns. Each drop lands with a gentle tap, joining the larger rhythm of the rain. The sound is comforting, predictable, like a clock that measures nothing urgent. The scent of the street changes as you move. Fresh rain mixes with the warmth of nearby kitchens. Hints of coffee, bread, and late-night cooking drifting into the cool air. Tobacco smoke lingers faintly, softened now, no longer sharp. Everything feels blended, smooth by moisture and time. A cafe door opens briefly as someone steps out, pulling their coat close. For a moment, warm light spills onto the sidewalk, carrying with it the low murmur of conversation and the clink of cups. Then the door closes again and the street returns to its quiet glow. You walk past theaters and clubs, their signs muted by the rain. Posters cling to walls, edges curling slightly, ink darkened by dampness. Somewhere down the block, music seeps into the night. Not loud, not clear, just a slow melody drifting through brick and glass. It doesn't call to you. It simply exists like the rain, like the light. Foot traffic is thin. A couple passes by under a shared umbrella, their steps unhurried. Another figure pauses beneath a lamppost, tipping a hat before moving on. No one rushes. The rain has asked the city to slow down, and it has agreed. You notice how the streetlights reflect in every surface. Windows, puddles, polished shoes. The glow follows you, stretching and bending, never breaking. Even shadows feel soft here, rounded at the edges, unwilling to grow too dark. As you walk, the sounds fade further. Conversations become murmurs. Music becomes memory. The city exhales, settling into the later hours of night. Your breath slows to match your steps. The rain continues its steady fall, washing the streets clean, carrying the day gently away. You move forward through the warmth and glow, surrounded by quiet lives and closing doors, feeling held by the calm of the evening. Harlem hums softly around you, not awake, not asleep, just resting as you stroll onward to the rain-lit street. You step inside to escape the rain, and the door closes softly behind you. The room is warm, almost immediately. Not hot, just comfortably alive. The air carries a gentle weight of smoke and perfume. Damp coats steaming quietly as they dry. Low amber lights glow from wall sconces and shaded lamps, softening every edge, turning faces into calm silhouettes. You pause for a moment to let your eyes adjust. The room is not large, but it feels full in a peaceful way. Small tables sit close together, their surfaces worn smooth, glasses catching the light. People lean in toward one another, voices low, laughter unforced. No one rushes. Time moves differently here, slower, stretched by music and shadow. A waiter passes by with quiet confidence, shoes barely making a sound on the wooden floor. The smell of coffee, spirits, and polished wood blends gently with the lingering scent of rain carried in from the street. At the far end of the room, the band is already playing. They sit close together, relaxed, as if the music has always been there, and they are simply continuing it. The piano rests slightly off the side, its lid lifted just enough to let the notes breathe. Fingers move easily over the keys, unhurried, pressing sound into the room like warm air. The bass stands tall, its body catching the light. The musician's hand moves in steady, patient pulls, each note deep and grounding. You feel it more than you hear it. Soft vibrations settling low in your chest. The drums are brushed, not struck. A quiet sweep across the snare, a gentle tap on the cymbal. Nothing sharp, nothing sudden, just rhythm, like a calm heartbeat, keeping everything in place. And then there is the horn. The trumpet's voice rises slowly, rounded and mellow. The sound doesn't push forward, it drifts. Each note curves gently through the air, bending, lingering, then fading. It feels almost conversational, as if the musician is speaking softly to the room, and everyone is listening. You find a seat near the back, where the shadows are deepest and the music feels widest. From here, you can take everything in without effort. The faces around you are relaxed, eyes half closed, heads tilted slightly toward the sound. Some sway, just a little, not even realizing they are moving. The music wraps itself around you. It smooths the edges of thought. The day you came from, the noise, the movement, the weight of it, all of that loosens its grip. The notes stretch time, making space between moments. You breathe more slowly without deciding to. The trumpet leans into a phrase, then gently steps back, letting the piano respond. The bass waits patiently, then fills the space left behind. The drums follow, not leading, just guiding. Always steady, always kind. You notice how the room listens. Glasses pause midair. Conversations fall away. Even the clink of ice seems to soften, as if the sound knows it should not interrupt. The music doesn't demand attention. It earns it by being exactly what it is. Smoke drifts upward in thin, lazy lines, catching the light before disappearing into the dark ceiling. The lamps glow steadily, never flickering. Outside, rain taps against the windows, barely audible now, blending into the rhythm rather than competing with it. The band shifts seamlessly into another tune, slower this time. The piano lowers its voice. The trumpet becomes almost a whisper. The bass continues its gentle walk, one step at a time. You feel yourself sink deeper into chair. There is no need to think ahead, no need to remember behind. The music holds you right where you are, floating between notes, between breaths. The room feels safe, contained, separate from the night outside. For a while, there's only sound and warmth and the quiet presence of others sharing the same moment. You are not alone here, but you are not required to be anything either. As the song draws to a close, the final note lingers, hanging in the air before dissolving completely. No one rushes to clap. The pause is respected. Then, softly, appreciation moves through the room like a shared sigh. The band smiles gently, already easing into the next tune. And you stay where you are, letting the music continue to carry you, unhurried and calm, deeper into the night. Time passes, uncounted and sweet, but eventually, a pleasant heaviness settles in your limbs, a gentle sign that the night is winding down. You linger for one last phrase from the trumpet, savoring the final note before slowly standing up. You button your coat, offer a silent nod of gratitude to the room, and make your way to the exit. The diner hums gently. Silverware is stacked, a plate set down, a chair shifted slightly. Nothing abrupt, nothing loud. The rhythm is steady, dependable, like the rain you left outside. You take a slow sip and breathe out. The warmth settles deep, grounding you. Your thoughts grow fewer, lighter. There is no hurry here. The clock on the wall ticks softly, each second unremarkable and welcome. Through the window, you can still see the rain falling, streetlights glowing behind it. Cars pass now and then, their headlights stretching across the glass before fading away. The city continues on, but you are safely paused within this small pocket of calm. The radio shifts to another song, barely noticeable, its melody blending into the room rather than standing apart. The night feels late but gentle, as if it has plenty of time left. You finish your coffee slowly, savoring the last warmth. When you stand, your body feels loose, unburdened. The diner door opens and closes behind you, and the rain welcomes you back with the same steady patience. You step into quiet street, ready to head home, carrying the warmth with you as the night continues to unfold. You walk the final blocks home as the rain begins to soften. It hasn't stopped, but it feels lighter now, as if the night itself is growing tired. The streets are nearly empty. Streetlights glow steadily, their reflections stretching long and thin across the pavement. Each step you take feels quieter than the last, your shoes barely whispering against the wet ground. Your building comes into view, familiar and welcoming. You pause under the awning, listening to the rain for a moment longer. Water drips from the edge in slow, measured drops. Somewhere above, a window glows faintly, curtains drawn. The city feels settled, content to rest. Inside, the stairwell smells faintly of old wood and clean air. Your footsteps echo softly as you climb, hand resting lightly on the railing. The sounds of the street fade with each step, replaced by stillness. You unlock your door and step inside. The apartment is quiet and warm. A small lamp casts a gentle glow across the room, softening the corners, turning shadows into something kind. Outside, rain taps lightly against a window. A steady, familiar sound that feels almost like breathing. You hang your coat, noticing how the fabric is cool and damp beneath your fingers. The day finally slips away as you move through the room without hurry. Every motion feels slower, easier, guided by habit and comfort. You lower yourself onto the bed, the mattress welcoming you with a quiet sigh. The room holds you gently. The rain continues its soft rhythm, tapping the glass, tracing the night one drop at a time. Your breathing slows. Thoughts drift in and out, but none stay long. The images of the evening, glowing streets, warm rooms, distant music, fade into something softer, less defined. They blend together, like reflections in a puddle slowly settling. The city outside is still there, but it feels far away now. Harlem rests beneath the rain, streets shining faintly under the lamps, music and voices long since quieted. Everything has found its place in the night. You sink deeper into the bed, muscles loosening, shoulders heavy with calm. The rain becomes a gentle background, steady and reassuring, asking nothing of you. With each breath, the world grows quieter. The lights, the streets, the sounds, all of it drifts away, leaving only warmth and rest. You let your eyes close, letting the night take over, carried gently into sleep as the rain continues to fall.
Mm-hmm.